Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching this video. Today I will show you the process of how I drew this very cute Winnie the Pooh. It's actually very simple and you don't need much. What I used was a couple of pencils. You don't really need different shade tones with the pencils. You can just use one, or even with this one you can try to just make it more smooth with a piece of napkin. And also another thing that I used is markers. And to be honest, the only ones that I used is this one to color the darker spots, or to shade the darker spots, and just any of these to line it up. You don't need all of these. You could use them, but you don't necessarily need all of this. Now, let me show you the process. The first thing that I always do is I calculate where everything is going to be. The head, the arms, the legs. You don't want to make the mistake of starting the drawing, making details and everything, and then realizing that you do not have enough space on the paper. Or maybe you did it too much to the right or too much to the left and it's not perfectly centered. So you always want to start by calculating where everything is going to be. In this case, this is the honey jar, which is going to be in the center. Right now I am doing the arms, the legs, and basically, just giving it a little bit of shape before I start with the actual drawing. This right here is a tulip. My vision for this drawing is to draw Winnie the Pooh sitting down, relaxing, smelling a tulip while he's eating honey. This is a very relaxing and peaceful idea, so I thought it would be nice to draw. Once I finish calculating where everything will be and I am okay with the way it looks, then that's when I start doing the details. I start doing the face, I start drawing the shirt, the ears, the mouth, everything. My first original idea was to draw Winnie the Pooh with his eyes open. But then I started thinking, when you actually smell something and you want to enjoy it, you close your eyes. Why? Because this way your brain focuses on the smell, and when you have your eyes closed, you actually relax more when you smell it than when you have your eyes open. So I erase the eyes and then I make him with his eyes closed, and I'm not gonna lie, I think it looks way better this way because it makes more sense. And also he looks more relaxed like this. When you are drawing, it's very important that you don't push too hard on the pencil. Why? Because you are going to do a lot of erasing. If you noticed, I erase all the time. I'm always testing ideas, I'm always looking to see what looks better. So if I push the pencil too much on the paper, every time I try to erase, it's going to leave marks. So always go soft until you are sure that you actually like the way it looks. Then you can start pushing more the pencil or using markers, because now you are happy with the way it looks. Now that I finish sketching and I like the way it looks, then I move on to do the background. I don't want to make anything that is going to cover the whole page, because then it's going to take away from the main focus, which in this case is Winnie the Pooh. I just want to do something simple, something to add to the vision, which in this case is Winnie the Pooh sitting down, relaxing. So I did a couple of flowers, a little bit of grass, and a couple of really chubby bees that really match the whole image of Winnie the Pooh eating honey. Now we move on to the final step and one of the most important ones of the drawing, which is shading. In this case, I use a black marker to basically fill up all the darker areas that the drawing has. For example, the nose, the stripes of the bees, and anything that has to be colored completely, I use a black marker. Everything else I only use pencil. You can use different shades of the pencil. There are some darker than the other ones, which that helps because not all the shade is the same tone. There are some shade that it's lighter, other places are darker, so depends on the shade, that's the tone that you use. One thing that I would recommend when shading is always put a piece of paper under your hand. And the reason I recommend this is because, like me, and there is a lot of people who do this, I lean my hand on the paper while I am drawing. And in this case, when you are shading, you are making a lot of movements with your hand, and your hand is rubbing against the drawing, which could make the drawing look dirty. Because like the pencil and all of that starts to spread around the paper and it doesn't look as clean anymore. So you always want to use a piece of paper under your arm to prevent from your drawing looking dirty. One of the tricks that I use for shading is I grab a piece of toilet paper or a napkin to basically blend the pencil when I do the shading. That way, when you use the pencil, you can see the lines and all of that, but you can make that smoother when you grab a piece of toilet paper or a napkin and you start to blend it a little bit. This way it looks smoother, and sometimes the effect that it gives it actually makes the drawing better. The reason why shading your drawings is very important is because it just takes it to another level. If you only sketch it and you do the lining, your drawing looks plain. It looks basic. It doesn't really have any detail, any texture, any dimension. The better you are at shading, the better your drawing will look. I still have a lot to work on my shading because let me tell you, there is a lot of things that I could be doing better, but practice makes perfection. And it's very important that you always try to shade your drawings because they just make them look so much better, so much alive when you do the shading. One of the debates that I was having is if I should basically shade very dark the bottom of his feet. I was wondering what it would look like, but honestly I was scared because I was afraid to mess it up. So I decided to just do a little bit of shading, not too dark, enough to make it look like it's the bottom of his feet, but not too dark to the point that I might be afraid that it got ruined. And the last thing that we always do, sign our name. What I do is I started with pencil. Always try it with pencil first to make sure that you place it in the right position or that it looks nice, and then you can use the pencil or the marker or whatever you want to use. And that's it, guys. This is my drawing of Winnie the Pooh. I really hope that you like it. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and have a nice day.